I have a message from your person, and it is very urgent. Take a deep breath before you continue, because this message is not light. It came through long silences. It came through sleepless nights. It came through words they wanted to say but never did. And it is reaching you right now because something has changed and time is running out. Welcome to Soul Signal. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss when the universe has something to share with you. Your presence here is not an accident. You were guided to this message at this exact moment for a reason. Before I tell you what your person is going through, I need you to hear something first. You were not wrong. Whatever you felt between you and this person was real. You did not make it up. You did not imagine it. The connection was real. The feelings were real. And what happened was not your fault. I need you to hold on to that as you listen to the rest of this message. Your person has been keeping something inside for a very long time, much longer than they would ever admit, much longer than you probably know. They did not just wake up one day and forget about you. They did not suddenly stop feeling what they felt. They did not move on the way they tried to make it look. What really happened is that they buried something. They buried feelings they did not know how to carry. They hid emotions they were not ready to face. They chose silence because silence felt safer than saying the wrong thing. But hidden feelings do not disappear. They do not fade with time. They sit in the dark and they grow heavier. Every single day they grow heavier, until the weight becomes impossible to carry alone. That is exactly where your person is right now. They are not calm. They are not at peace. Something changed very recently. Maybe they saw something that reminded them of you. Maybe they heard your name and their whole body went still. Maybe they had a dream about you so real they woke up reaching for someone who was not there. Maybe life just got quiet enough for the truth to finally get loud. Whatever it was, it woke them up. And now they are facing something that truly scares them. They might lose you. Not someday, not in the future, but now. That thought did not come slowly. It hit them late at night when they could not distract themselves anymore. It hit them when their phone felt empty. It hit them when laughing with other people felt fake. It hit them when the quiet around them got too loud to ignore. They noticed something that hurts. No one else feels the way you do. No one listens the way you listen. No one understands without asking too many questions. No one else made them feel safe without making them feel trapped. You were different. You were always different. And you were not wrong for knowing that. You felt something real because it was real. If this message already feels like it was meant for you, type the words "I feel this" in the comments. Let the universe know you are listening. Your person wants to tell you something, but they do not know how. They want to say they should have spoken sooner. They want to say they thought they had more time. They want to say they did not think you would actually start to walk away. They did not realize that staying quiet would cost them this much. They are learning a painful truth right now. Doing nothing is still a choice, and that choice cost them everything. They feel bad for not being there when it mattered. They feel bad for not speaking up when you needed to hear that things were okay. They feel bad for choosing silence when you needed honesty. At the time, staying quiet felt safe. Keeping distance felt like control. But avoiding things does not make them go away. It just makes them worse. A famous thinker once said that until you make your hidden feelings known, they will control your life and you will call it fate. Your person has been living that truth without even knowing it. They let fear make their choices. They let pride speak for them. They let silence do the talking. And now, those choices have turned into something they can no longer run from. But while they are dealing with that, something has been happening to you. Something quiet, something powerful. You have changed. They can feel it. Your energy is not the same. Your patience is not the same. The way you respond is not the same. The way you stay quiet is not the same. Before, your silence felt like waiting. Now, your silence feels like peace. And that scares them more than anything you could have said, because they relied on your patience. They counted on your kindness. They thought you would always be there, always understanding, always forgiving, always ready to try again. They did not think you would ever reach the point where you quietly chose yourself, but you did. And now they can feel it, and you were not wrong for choosing yourself. That was not selfish. That was survival. What they are afraid to lose is not just you. It is the way you made them feel seen. It is the safety they felt, but never talked about. It is the home they found in you that they did not know how to keep. They're asking themselves one question now, and that question gets louder every day. Did I ruin the one thing that actually mattered? That question follows them everywhere. It follows them when they try to sleep. It follows them when they try to move on. It follows them every time they sit across from someone else and feel the difference right away. No one feels like you. No one will ever feel like you. And they know it. If you feel the truth of this deep inside you right now, type Soul Connection in the comments. Let those words carry your energy forward. Your person is not doing well. I need you to hear that. They are not okay. They wake up in the middle of the night, and the first thing they feel is your absence. Not just missing you, but the weight of knowing that they are the reason you are not there. They go through their days and everything reminds them of you. A place you once went together. A word you used to say. A smell that brings back a feeling they thought they had buried. They try to push it down. They try to keep moving, but the body remembers what the mind tries to forget. There are moments when they are with other people and they feel completely alone, because no one in the room knows them the way you did. No one sees through them the way you could. No one makes the noise stop the way your presence used to. No one feels like you. They know this now. They feel it every single day. They are also starting to see something they missed when you were close. Your strength, your patience, your ability to love without asking for proof, your ability to stay soft in a world that told you to be hard. They see it now. They see all of it, and it hits them in waves. Some days it is sadness. Some days it is regret. Some days it is a feeling so heavy they do not have a word for it. But here is what I need you to understand. Their pain does not erase yours. Their suffering does not mean you were wrong to leave. You were not wrong. You did what you had to do, and you should never feel bad about that. Please take a slow breath right now. Let that truth settle inside your body. You were not wrong. They compare everyone to you. They do not want to, but they cannot help it. Every conversation feels empty. Every laugh feels hollow. Every connection feels like a copy of something that was once real, and the original was you. They do not say your name out loud, but they think it. They think it more than they would ever tell anyone. Your name lives in their head like a quiet sound that never stops. Sometimes it is soft. Sometimes it is so loud, it drowns out everything else. There is a moment your person keeps going back to. It is not a big moment. It is not something dramatic. It is small. It is quiet. Maybe it was the way you looked at them when no one else was paying attention. Maybe it was something you said that made them feel understood for the first time in years. Maybe it was the sound of your laugh. Maybe it was the way you said their name. Maybe it was how you made the hard days feel lighter just by being there. That moment lives inside them now. They carry it everywhere. They go back to it at night. They go back to it in the middle of the day. They go back to it when something small reminds them of you and the whole room feels different. They know what they had. They know what it felt like to be near you. and nothing since has come close. Nothing. But while they sit in that truth, I need to remind you of something. You do not owe them your waiting. You do not owe them your nights. You do not owe them the peace you fought so hard to find. Their missing you does not mean you have to stop moving forward. Their pain is real, but so is yours. And yours matters just as much. You already gave more than enough. You already stayed longer than most people would. You already loved harder than they were ready to receive. And you were not wrong for any of it. But you are also not wrong for choosing to rest now. Your healing does not wait for them. Your life does not pause because they finally feel what you felt all along. Remember that. Hold on to that. They have tried to fill the space you left. They have tried staying busy. They have tried telling themselves they are fine. They have tried pretending they made the right choice. But every distraction fades. Every attempt to move on brings them right back to the same place. Right back to you. You are the one who made them feel something real. And they walked away from that, not because they wanted to, but because they were afraid. Afraid of how much they felt. Afraid that if they let you all the way in, you would find the parts of them they are ashamed of. So they chose distance. They chose silence. They chose the thing that felt safe. But safe is not the same as happy. And they are learning that right now. But while they go back to that moment, you have been moving forward. You have been building something new, something that belongs only to you, a piece that no one gave you. You built it yourself, with your own hands, through your own pain, and it belongs to you. Your person can feel this change. They feel it in how you talk. They feel it in how you do not talk. They feel it in how you no longer try to prove that you are worth it. Because anger they could handle, drama they could deal with, but your peace means you have accepted things. Your peace means you have moved forward in the quietest and most powerful way. You stopped chasing. You stopped explaining yourself. You stopped making yourself smaller so they could feel comfortable. You stopped pouring your love into someone who was not giving anything back. That did not happen overnight. It happened slowly, quietly, the way real change always happens. One morning you woke up and something was different. You were different. You were done waiting for someone to give you what you were already giving yourself. If you have chosen yourself and you are standing in that truth right now, type "I chose myself" in the comments. Those words are not just for the screen. They are for your spirit. Let me say this again because you need to hear it. You were not wrong for loving them. You were not foolish for believing in them. You were not weak for staying as long as you did. You loved with everything you had, and that is never something to be ashamed of. But loving someone does not mean losing yourself in the process. And that is what was starting to happen. You were giving so much that there was nothing left for you. You were carrying two hearts when they were not even carrying their own. You did not walk away because you were cold. You walked away because you finally understood that love should not feel like begging. Love should not feel like proving. Love should not feel like waiting in a room where no one comes. You deserved more than silence. You deserved more than half answers. You deserved more than being someone's backup plan. You deserved more than someone who only showed up when it was easy. And you finally believed that. That is not giving up. That is waking up. That is the bravest kind of love there is. Loving yourself enough to stop accepting less. Your person feels a door closing right now. Not a loud slam, not a big goodbye, a soft, quiet closing. And that is the kind that scares people the most. Because once that door closes all the way, it does not open again easily. They want to reach out. They want to explain. They want to say sorry in a way that is real. Not with excuses, not with the same old words, but with something true. But fear is still fighting them. Fear says, what if it is too late? Fear says, what if you do not care anymore? Fear says, what if I open up and you turn away? So they wait. They write messages and delete them. They pick up their phone at 2 a.m. and put it back down. They type your name and stare at it. Then they close the screen. They practice conversations in their head that never happen in real life. And every day they wait, the panic grows a little more. But while their panic grows, your peace holds. And that is not something small, that is everything. You built something they cannot touch. You built a life that does not depend on whether they show up or not. You wake up and you keep going. You carry yourself with a quiet strength that you did not have before. And you did that alone. No one helped you. No one carried you through it. You carried yourself. And you are not wrong for becoming someone who no longer needs to be chosen to feel whole. You are already whole. You were always whole. They just made you forget that for a while. But you remember now. Your person is going through something right now that they do not fully understand. They feel restless, but they do not know why. They feel empty, but they cannot name what is missing. There are nights when they lie awake and wonder what you are doing. They wonder if you think about them too. They wonder if you have already moved on. They wonder if you are happy without them. They wonder if someone else is making you laugh the way they used to. They wonder if you still remember the things they're afraid to forget. That thought makes something in their chest feel tight. Not because they have the right to feel that way. They know they do not. But the heart doesn't follow rules. It feels what it feels. And their heart still feels you. They pick up old messages between you. They read words they never answered. They see questions they ignored. And every message they never responded to feels like a small wound now. Not yours, theirs. Because each one was a moment when you reached out and they chose to hide. The universe has been sending them signs. Your name shows up where they do not expect it. Songs play that carry your memory. They dream about you and wake up with tears they cannot explain. These are not accidents. The universe does not do accidents. Every sign is a push. Every dream is a door being held open just a little longer. But the universe will not hold that door forever. There comes a point when even the universe steps back and lets the choice be theirs. A wise man once said that you do not find peace by imagining light, but by making the darkness known to yourself. Your person is standing at the edge of that darkness now. The fight inside them is real. Their heart wants you. Their fear says, be careful. Their pride says, stay quiet. Their soul says, go to them. And one of those voices is getting louder than the others. You did not leave because you stopped caring. That is something they are only now starting to see. You left because caring was not enough. You needed more than feelings that lived in silence. You needed honesty. You needed safety. You needed someone to show up. Not just with sweet words, but with real action. And they were not giving you that. So you did the hardest thing. You stopped waiting for them to choose you, and you chose yourself. That is not cold. That is not mean. That is the bravest thing a person can do. You were not asking them to be perfect. You were never asking for perfection. You just wanted them to try. You just wanted them to be there. Not every day in some perfect way. Just there. Present. Willing to show up even when it was hard. You did not need big words. You needed honest ones. You did not need a perfect plan. You needed someone who cared enough to make one. You just needed to know that you were not the only one trying. And when you realized that you were the only one fighting for the two of you, something inside you shifted. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with a quiet understanding that you could not keep building something alone. They see that now. They see it in every message you do not send. They see it in every call you do not make. You do not need their explanation anymore. You do not need their apology to know your own worth. You already know who you are. And that knowing is what keeps them awake at night. If you feel this message in your bones right now, type divine timing in the comments. Trust that what is meant for you will always find its way. Here is what the universe wants you to know. You were never asking for too much. Not once. You wanted honesty. You wanted presence. You wanted someone who would choose you not just when it was easy, but when it was hard. Those are not big things to ask for. Those are the basics. Those are what every heart deserves. The fact that someone sees your value late does not mean you owe them another chance. You already did the hard work. You already found your peace. Your worth was not created by them finally noticing. You were worth everything when they were silent. You were worth everything when they were not choosing you. You were worth everything on every single day that you kept going, even when it hurt. Their panic does not set your timeline. Their regret does not decide your next step. You are not here to save someone from the results of their own choices. You are here to honor the life you have fought so hard to build. If they reach out, you will know what to do. Not because someone told you, because your body will tell you. You will feel if their words carry truth. You will know the difference between someone who is scared of losing you and someone who is ready to love you. Those are not the same thing, and you know that now. You can love someone deeply and still protect your peace. You can wish someone well and still keep the door closed. That is not cruelty. That is wholeness. Something is shifting right now in the energy around this connection. You might feel it in the coming days. A warmth that comes from nowhere. A dream that stays with you after you wake. A song that stops you in the middle of what you are doing. A number that keeps appearing. These are not random. They are messages. The universe is saying the connection between you is still alive. But alive does not mean you have to act on it. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is notice it, feel it, and keep walking forward. Your person has been fighting themselves for longer than you know. Part of them wants to run to you. Part of them wants to hide. Part of them wants to tell you everything. Part of them is terrified of what happens if they do. They are stuck between the person they have been and the person they want to become. The old version of them stays quiet. The old version protects itself. The old version chooses comfort over truth. But there is a new version trying to break through. A version that is tired of hiding. A version that is tired of pretending that life without you is okay when every part of them knows it is not. That new version is getting stronger every day. And one day soon, it will be the one that speaks. Something is cracking inside your person right now. The wall they built is starting to break. Not from the outside, from the inside. Because the love they feel for you has nowhere else to go. You cannot build a wall strong enough to stop something real. You can try. You can add more layers. You can tell yourself it is not there. But real love does not care about walls. It finds every crack. And eventually it becomes too much to hold back. Your person is close to that point. Very close. When that moment comes, it might not look the way you expect. Maybe it will be a message at 2 a.m. Maybe it will be a call where they cannot find the words, but you hear the truth in their voice. Maybe it will be a look across a room that says everything their mouth could not. Maybe it will be something so small that only you and they would understand. But even then, you do not owe anyone a response you are not ready to give. You do not have to open the door just because someone finally decided to knock. You get to decide. You get to choose. Your peace is yours. No one gets to trade it for their moment of truth. If you trust the timing of your life, type signal received in the comments. You do not have to shout it. Just let your spirit know that you hear what the universe is saying. You are not waiting for someone to complete you. You are already complete. You are not hoping for someone to see your worth. Your worth has always been there. You are not broken because someone could not love you right. You are whole because you learned to love yourself through every silence they left behind. That is not something everyone can do, but you did it. And that makes you stronger than you know. You were not wrong for any of it. Not for loving, not for staying, not for leaving.